Ah, adventurer, you couldn't have come at a better time. The preparations for restoring the order are in place, and I'm pleased to report with our practice efficiency, we've established a base camp on practically the doorstep of students' headquarters. In keeping with tradition, the region in which the camp lies has been given a name, Hydatos, a reference to its watery disposition. God's willing, this would be the last corner of the island that expedition will need to contend with. But without further ado, let me know when you are ready to head over. Mistress Kryl is very keen to resume her efforts with your help. Eureka Hydatos, now accessible. You now have access to the Forbidden Land Eureka Hydatos. Like Animos, Pagos, and Pyros, Hydatos can be explored in parties of up to 8 players or solo. Embark on your journey to Hydatos, speak with Rodney at Pier Number 1 in Kugane. Please be advised that all excursions into Forbidden Land Eureka Hydatos are item level sync. Gear exceeding an item level of 300 will be adjusted. And we did get our Pyros weapon. We got 2 pieces of the armor, so we'll go pick the rest of that up later. But for now, we'll just journey to Hydatos and check it out real quick. At least get through the cutscene. Forbidden Land, Eureka Hydatos. We're already at level 53, so we don't have much leveling to do. I'll do most of that off stream. Here and there. I'll have like half hour or something to kill. Alright, well. I think we'll take all the quests after we get to 60. You've attuned yourself to the Ethernet shard and now have access to the region's Ethernet. Yep, whatever that was, it's not there any longer. Ever a sight for sore eyes. By now it's no secret, but we can't well continue our work without you. As always, let us begin by taking stock of the situation. Through our previous investigation, we learned that the founders had sealed away the primal Eureka on this isle. However, Edgica then came along and, acting at Eureka's behest, sabotaged the proto-etherite, which may be considered the beating heart of the ward, on account of which the ward has ceased to function. For a blessing, we discovered a way to restore it by infusing magicite with copious amounts of ether to create a new focal point. It took considerable time and effort, but the preparations are now ready. All that remains is to reach the primal and seal it away once more. In order to do that, as per our original objective, we must gain entry to the students' headquarters. However, this has been rendered complicated owing to a number of factors. Aside from lying beyond impassable terrain, the structure is protected by a ward of its own. Did you ever doubt it? Ordinarily, members of the students are able to teleport inside, but the high concentration of ether we've measured makes doing so extremely dangerous. We must ascertain the conditions first, or we risk not emerging from the life stream. So I have a mind to enter via the back door, as it were, yet this method of ingress too isn't without its problems, but it's better to explain it out in the field. And that's where we stand. Now, before we set out, there's one last matter I'd like to attend to. You see, I had tasked the expedition scholar with researching legends pertaining to Eureka, call it a scholar's hunch, but I thought that a hint might be scrounged from amongst the tales. But come, let us see what the good scholar has dug up for us. Greetings, Mistress Kyle. Mistress Zilly, may I assume you have come about the legends? Indeed we have. Did your efforts bear fruit? They did. I'm pleased to say, first of all, it must be noted that there are several legends describing the Forbidden Land Eureka. Despite their many divergences, however, all are united in one detail, that Eureka was a repository for transcendent weapons hidden beneath the Crystal Tower. Combining this fact with your account of Eureka's avatar forging a blade from Master Edgica, I'm led to conclude that the Primal possesses the ability to create weapons. Weapons forged by a Primal put in the hands of mortals. What could possibly go wrong? In her visions, Mistress Zilly heard the words, "Exposure places the bearer's very soul at hazard," did she not? I take that to mean that those who wield such weapons are at risk of becoming the Primal's vessel. This calls to mind Uriange's report on the dark divinity Odin and his sword Tetsuken. The Primal was not the rider, but the weapon. Odin is said to have appeared during the age of the Allegan Empire. It may well be that Zen Setsuken was forged by Eureka. Recognizing the danger, the Allagans sealed Eureka's weapons beneath the crystal tower, and this gave rise to the myriad legends of a forbidden land. Curious, though, assuming Eureka was born of prayers, one would expect a deity the likes of Vyrogot to manifest, a brawny smithy working the forge. Yet what we have is a primal possessed of an autonomous avatar, which goes around promising power and glory, not the kind of entity that would arise from homespun legends. No, it feels all too purposeful, calculated. But such musings are for another time. I have some few things to prepare in order to make use of the aforementioned back door. In the meantime, would you go and pay Geralt a visit? I understand he's devised yet more ways to ease your labors. Come and find me when you're done speaking with him. A moment, mistress. There is one more matter I wish to speak with you about. Pertains to the members of the students believed trapped inside the headquarters. We've been speaking of rescue, but based on what we know, that may be an overly optimistic view. The concentration of ether we've measured inside the tower is, to be blunt, not conducive to life. Certainly not over long periods, and all this time there's been no observable movement from within. Of course, the students are knowledgeable and skilled folk, and they may have found some way to survive, but even as we cling to this hope, we should prepare ourselves for the worst. Forgive me for bothering you with gloomy talk. I won't keep you any longer. Pray go and seek out Master Gerald. Everything's sorted with Cryo? Good, good. As before, I've got a bunch of things to catch you up on. Prick up your ears and listen. First, regarding the Logos manipulator, we've improved the vials we use to store transubstantiated needs, meaning you can carry around more of the stuff. The Expedition Alchemist can tell you about it. Next, your Magia board. If you was already impressed with 6 pieces of Magicite, rejoice. We can now augment the thing to hold 7 stones. If you talk to the Expedition Engineer, he'll fix you up right wise. But we haven't gotten the 6th one yet, so... And last but not least, my favorite topic. No, not me goddamn dead, you cheeky bloody sod. Weapons. I've found a way to make your weapons even stronger. If this tickles your fancy, you just let me know. And while you're here... Great, get your ass over here and tell the woman about the logograms. Madam, I am pleased to inform you that we have discovered new varieties of logograms here in Hydatos. Certain combinations of these may yield heretofore unseen memes, and I encourage you to experiment with the logograms you come upon. So this is looking to be the final stage of the expedition. I've stuck with you all this way, so don't go disappointing me now, eh? See the job finished. From myself as well, madam, I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors here. Alright, everything what needed saying's been said. If you want to know more about weapon enhancement, we can talk now. Otherwise, you can piss off back to Cryo. Upon recording 56 or more unique entries in your Logos action log and speaking with Drake, you will be able to acquire new items. Please be advised that these items will only become available after you have gained access to Eureka armor offered by the Expedition Artisan in North Point. We already have a few pieces. You know, looking back, we've come a long way, and if the talk round camp's true, here's where the journey ends. Bah, listen to me trying to wax poetic. Feels like hot turds tumbling out of my bloody mouth. Let's get on with it, eh? The last time we strengthened the weapon by infusing it with memes, stuffed it near to bursting with power of memories. While there's no room left for more memes, we can fortify what's already there, and that's precisely what we're going to do, using ether from crystals and the like. Word of warning though, once we get started on the weapon, you won't be able to improve it at the meme workstation. That's until we finish augmenting it, at any rate. Just bear that in mind. And that's the long and short of it. Off you go. Get me the materials we need, and I'll get to work. Once you begin enhancing a Pyros weapon, you will be temporarily unable to imbue it with additional properties. Viewing it will become available again once the weapon has undergone all available upgrades in Hydatos. So if we want to roll stats on it, we'll have to go back to Pyros first. Oh, there she is. What have you got for me this time? I don't think I'd have enough crystals anyway. Bring me materials, you should be able to find what you need in Hydatos. Requires Hydatos crystals to augment Eureka weapons further. Moreover, when augmenting your weapons, speaking of... Okay. Yeah, okay, that's... How many do I have? 35? I'd probably need more than that, huh? Alright, let's do the rest of the requisite materials then, do your short 15. Okay, I guess I need 50. Okay. I just have to come back then. But we'll upgrade it first. We want to have 5 slots, because even though we have Tombstone weapon, it'll probably still be best in slot till the end of Shadowbringers. How good to see you again, madam. You'll be happy to know that your keen interest in Logos Manipulator has inspired Master Gerald to further investigate the potential of mnemonic transference. In fact, the last time I spoke with him, he appeared to be teetering on the cusp of yet another breakthrough. Still hanging about, are you? Like a bad bloody smell you can't quite get out of your drawers. 7 hours last, I'm only teasing. Mayhap my latest discovery will put a smile back on your face, eh? Your efforts bore fruit then? I found a way to augment armor using the raw materials here in Hydatos. Thing is, though, I've got enough on my plate just dealing with the weaponry. I've handed the designs to the artisan over yonder, so if you want to fiddle with pauldrons and whatnot, he's the bloke to see. I gotta say, I do enjoy digging into these new frontiers. It's a damn sight more interesting than mending kettles. Yeah, I've added all the logograms already. And there you have it. May this new method of armor augmentation serve you as well as a Logos Manipulator. Eureka Armor Augmentation is now available from the Expedition Artisan at Central Point. What we need is the one you get from Valdesian Arsenal. So we have to upgrade. I still have to get all the pieces from Pyros, because I have a few. I think I'm missing a head and a body. No, I'm missing a head and a hand piece, I guess. Because I have the leg piece, the feet, and the body. Okay. Then we have to upgrade them here, and then we have to do Valdesian Arsenal to get the other parts we need. Okay, well, before we do that, let's talk to the artisan they said has the extra logo stuff. Oh, no, he augments the armor. You see, it's like, it's better, but it's still, because it's all synced, it doesn't actually offer any elemental bonus. Ooh, we're gonna get them all. Okay, what would I need? Oleg's horn, Galdamore's horn, and Sito's claw. Okay. He can give us, I guess, more. Okay, that's for the 7th Magicite. Okay. We get the 6th one from Pyros with rare drops, which we haven't gotten any yet, so. Everything sorted with Gerald? Excellent. Let us set out at once. Is what I'd like to say, but I'm afraid I need more time to complete my task. Rather than standing idle at camp, though, may I suggest you acquaint yourself with the area outside. I should be able to complete my task meanwhile. You may continue your Eureka expedition upon reaching elemental level 51. Apologies for the wait. We now have everything we need to make use of the back door. To be sure, there's still a couple of things that require doing out there. First, let us head to Central Columns. It's due south of here at the Val River's source. I'll explain everything once we arrive. Oh, and I should mention that from this point on, I'll be delegating the bulk of my duties to the good scholar. If you ever want for guidance, she's the first person you should seek out. Without further ado, then. Okay, we're fully leveled. We're just going to do all the quests. Open and unlock stuff. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we need to create a logos action. Yes. Okay, we don't need any of those. But we opened them all up. Just use the Eureka tracker and see which ones you need. And I got them off the market board. I might, yeah, okay. Okay, now we're ready. Let's open our map. How many people are in here? It's just me. Okay, so we'll still need to be careful a bit. We can't die. But we're not going to be running into any fates. Or NMs. That Spirit of the Remembered and Wisdom of the Plate Bearer make us pretty tanky, so we should be fine. It actually means that Pagos is still like the hardest area at this point, because with these two and our level, we can survive a lot of stuff. Oh, it's marked on the map. It hasn't been marked on the map before. Yeah, so like, the goal is to kind of get through the arsenal and get all the stuff we need for our full gear and weapon so we can go back and farm Pagos easier. Because light farming in Pagos is a real pain without, we still take a lot of damage. And we could switch to tank, but like that's our kind of our, what's stopping us now is doing all the Pagos stuff. We have some of them at level, just not enough of them. Everything's kind of grindy from this point on. Once again, I'm reminded of this isle's dangers and how much of a boon you are to our efforts. Without the lessons of your field investigations to draw upon, I don't think I would have made it here in one piece. For the back door, it's an ether bridge that conveys you to the tower's entrance, built for those who lack the ability to teleport. Usable only by those with special permission, and right now it's not usable at all due to the obstruction in the live stream. In order to restore operation, we must repair the 3 sets of columns of the ether bridge. This requires that we seek out spots of pooled ether. And deploy these regulators to restore the flow. I would be grateful if you could assist with this task. According to my readings of the nearby area, the ether has pooled in 2 locations along the river source, one in the north and another in the south. I will search in the north, and if you would do likewise in the south, you should have luck looking east of the ether bridge foundation. Okay, as we want to do our quest. We shall call it Eureka. I still have to look into like what to do for BA, so I don't know. We'll try and maybe we'll do it this week. If I can get my weapons and armor set upgraded. Okay, they said east, and on the map it kind of points this direction. That must be it. But I think it's run by like Discord, so I don't know if they'll be doing any like when we're streaming. So kind of have to see when that happens. We'll look into it. You deploy the regulator at the spot of the pooled ether. It appears to have immediate effect. Oh yeah, this one's way easier to navigate than the other one. By my readings, I presume you found and rectified the pooled ether. Excellent. With some minor adjustments, these columns will be in good order again. It may take a little time, though, so sit tight for now, or go and smite the local wildlife if you prefer. I'd certainly welcome fewer of them snapping at my heels. You may continue the Eureka expedition upon reaching elemental level 54. The adjustments are complete. Let's put our handiwork to the proof, shall we? Yes, everything appears to be in order. Hopefully the remaining 2 sets of columns will prove no more difficult. With that, let us make for the western columns. It's just south and east of the unverified research. Right. Research. Right, silent as a mouse, silent as a mouse. Oh. Probably just run there. We have to teleport home and then go to the crystal. 2 people in here now. Need one other. It'll be busy later. Don't know if it'll be when we're on. I mean, we could re-instance and see, but we don't need to do this one anyways yet. Just gonna do the quest line so everything's open and available. We can come and farm it later. By the gods, but that was close. I literally saw into its gullet. Ugh, cannot unsee. Forgive me, I'm alright now. So it appears there are 2 spots of pooled ether in this area as well. Both are located in the northern reaches of the West Bank. Let us split up and find them. Tigers. They got lions on the other side too. We don't need any levels, so we'll pick up an elemental if we see it. Only for the damage buff if we have to fight anything. Considering we're just doing quests, we're not on the lookout for one. It's almost better that we won't get sidetracked by a bunch of notorious monsters. I don't like this weird looking spot on the map in the northwest. Like up this tree or rock or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. There we go. You deploy the regulator at the spot of the pooled ether. It appears to have immediate effect. We go back to the... Yeah, it is. Actually, it didn't take long to level up in here because we were in Pyros till about 53, so we got up to 57 or 58 a day. Few hours, whatever. Helmets. There you are, Zillion. I see you managed to locate the other spot of pooled ether. I'll begin making my adjustments at once. As before, it may take a bit of time. You may continue your Eureka expedition upon reaching elemental level 57. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I've finished with my adjustments. Let us see if they did the trick. Good, no dramas here either. That leaves us with just the eastern columns. The name suggests they're located on the eastern bank of the river. Off we go then, and no more harrowing encounters. Not exactly near the Aetheryte, but still probably be quicker to teleport. Doesn't look like much of a dormitory now. I see, there are the lions. There are bears too. Oh my. Right island. Up here the whole time, wasn't it? Followed me all the way to right here and then turned around. There are already pretty good guides out there. After all this sneaking about, I've gotten somewhat used to it. Still, I'm a long way off strolling around this island as if it were a flower garden like you do. But on to the business. Again, we have two spots of pooled ether to account for. One is due east of here, while the other appears to lie at the northern edge of the riverbank area. I'll head east if you wouldn't mind taking your search north. See you back here afterwards. Yeah, it's like straight north. Due north. I think. Yeah. I don't know why this one's flatter compared to the other ones. Maybe they listened to feedback about how annoying the other ones were, because Pyros is easier to get around than Pagos. Because even with the sleeping dragons, they don't slow you to a crawl. Maybe it's a feedback thing. Maybe they had less time to work on it because they were doing Valdesian Arsenal too. Because that's like the focus. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that was that released to the same patch. Yeah, I don't know if it's like, here you go, we're going to make this one easier to navigate, or if it's just, we don't really have time to make it all complicated. Just put something out there. We'll get our elemental buff. Unnecessary as it may be. Since it's like right here on the way. You can see the thing up there. If we have to fight something for some reason, it'll be extra damage. You deploy the regulator at the spot of pooled ether. It appears to have an immediate effect. And back to it. I just didn't think it would be that interesting. I don't think anybody really wants to watch me grind for hours and hours on end. Right? Like, it actually wasn't that bad. Spent a lot of time at Animos, but that's because we got everything there first. So I still need some more crystals from there for the Dark Knight weapon. So I'll probably have to take a couple hours there one day. Depending on how well Fates pop and how busy it is. And I didn't realize there was one right there, too. It'd be nice if there were people here knowing where they're at now. Regulator is in place. Excellent. As before, I'll need to carry out some adjustments. Pray, bear with me a while. May continue Eureka expedition upon reaching elemental level 60. Apologies for making you wait repeatedly. I'm pleased to say I've completed my adjustments, and with even greater care than usual. I don't even need to try to know that this will work. See, what did I tell you? With all 3 sets of columns thus repaired, the ether bridge should be operational again. At long last, we may enter the tower. Taking the liberty of granting you permission to use the bridge so we may make the crossing at any time. Come, let us make our way thither. I think this takes us into the tower. Not like the actual arsenal. I think it just unlocks it. You have to like go in and do the quest line there. You're just following the breadcrumbs, as they say. I haven't looked into PA at all. I just know it exists. And that it's like 50-something people or whatever. It's like a big raid, and that it's normally organized through like Discord. That's the thing we put down earlier. So that like just we queued up now, I don't think we'd get in. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it even runs through the roulette system. This is it. Zilly, the path to the tower lies wide open. Within, we would like to encounter both Educa and Eureka's avatar. They won't allow us to simply walk in and restore the ward. Yet that is precisely what we must do. After all our toils to reach this point, we cannot stop now. Let us go. I believe I can fly. Like the anti-tower. Eureka. Well, I don't think any of us expected to be right by the entrance. I know for a fact that it wasn't here before. One can only assume it was moved from its hiding place. At any rate, this saves us the trouble of a search, so I shan't complain. Now, as much as I would like to restore the ward at once, that restraint will interfere with its effects. The safety measure that prevents Eureka from escaping, but by the same token it prevents us from acting against it. I wager that Educa is searching for a way to deactivate the restraint and release Eureka, which means that we must find it first. Grandfather's office adjoins this hall. If there is any information to be had, I dare say it will be there. Yeah, I think we just have to go read a bunch of stuff. Some interactions and whatnot. I think we're supposed to read all of this. Despite our best efforts, we are unable to find any literature allowing us to trace Eureka's creation back to a definitive legend. Our brief questioning of its avatar, however, did yield some intriguing details, namely that Eureka, who claims to cast down the wicked, was imprisoned by one who bears the light, a champion of Hydatos. How these words may be interpreted is a subject for debate, but taken at face value they are suggestive of Ascian involvement. Regardless of the truth, we must do our utmost to safeguard the knowledge of the icon. I'm going to go around and read them all. It is believed that a weapon forged by Eureka takes control of its wielder by usurping his ether. Eventually, naught can be said to remain of the host. Having thus acquired the means to move, the weapon then begins to act autonomously, setting forth to fulfill its purpose, the wish which impelled its creation. To date, we have discovered 5 such arms and sealed them away, but there is no telling how many more exist. For now, we can but continue our investigation. Numerous tomes are scattered haphazardly upon the table. None of them appear related to Eureka. I guess that's it. Just those 3. Looks like just those 3. Unless we can get into other portions of here. Apart from the mess, it's pretty much as it was. I can almost see Grandfather sitting at his desk. If Educa had been here, he is long gone. What could that boy possibly be up to? Well, never mind him for now. Come, Zilly, help me look for information on the restraint. Oh, we already looked at everything. Am I supposed to read it again? I, Galuf Baldezian, hereby commit these words to parchment in the event that the unthinkable should come to pass. You who are reading this will, by now, be aware of the existence of the icon Eureka and its ability to forge dangerous weapons. What you may not know, however, is that said ability is not limited to simply implements of war. Nay, Eureka is capable of creating any and all things. Oh, Omega can do that too. If the implications of this, imagine, if you will, that he who is Eureka's master commands it to create a new mother crystal. The icon would attempt to do so, we believe, even if it meant draining the land of all its ether. Such a reforging of the world would entail destruction of a scale to rival any calamity. This is the true danger of Eureka. For long years we kept the being's location closely guarded secret, but in spite of our best efforts it was eventually discovered by the Asians. Lest Eureka be used to a calamitous end, my comrades and I resorted to drastic measures. Having given the order to evacuate, we invoked a powerful magic to drown the entire island within the life stream. Thence we combined our strength to defeat the Asian known as Emeraloth, consigning her essence to be scattered within that raging torrent of ether, never again to reform. Now we await our own end. Even as I write, the Isle of Vath drifts in the life stream. Ere long it will become as one with the flow, as will all that remains within. However, that these words have survived means that, unlikely though it is, the Isle has somehow re-emerged in the corporeal realm. It means that Eureka remains a grave threat. You who have found my message, to you I make the most urgent of entreaties. Seek out the scions of the Seventh Dawn and alert them to these events. See that Eureka is sealed away and guarded from those who would use its power for ill. The fate of the very star depends upon it. Did he say anything new now? No, it still says the same thing. But we'll read them again just in case. Okay, I guess that's it. Found something, did you? Excellent, so did I. A wealth of information inside an unassuming tome. Grandfather describes the ward the founders raised, the contrivances they employed to keep Eureka hidden, and, most pertinently, instructions on deactivating the restraint. He also writes in detail about Eureka's avatar. Contrary to what we first assumed, the entity appears to be more akin to an instrument. It is Eureka's means of manipulating ether, without which the primal cannot forge its weapons. So long as Eureka itself exists, the instrument can be recreated over and over again, but it will disappear if we sever the etheric connection between them. This we can accomplish by restoring the ward and sealing Eureka away. While it falls short of outright eliminating the primal, it presents an effective way to keep it in check. I wonder if perhaps Educa is... Well, all will come to light in due course. That is all from me. Let's hear what you have learned. Yes, I remember. On that fateful day, Grandfather gave the order for immediate evacuation. But when I attempted to teleport away, the magic failed owing to an unnatural surge in the life stream, so I turned my steps towards Port Surrogate to find a boat. I never got there, of course. I was swallowed up by the life stream. Judging by the state of the headquarters, the others too were pulled into that raging torrent, but there was no divine intercession for them. I had braced for this. From the beginning, I had resigned myself to being the sole survivor, but to now be confronted with the truth. Confound it all. Ah. Right, there'll be time for tears later. We have work to do, and Grandfather would expect us to do it. Come, Zilly, let us deactivate the restraint. This, Zilly, according to Grandfather's notes, this little thing is the crux of the restraint. Apparently it shares a history with Eureka, but such details aren't relevant at the moment. What matters is it allows us to release the restraint. Here I go. That did the trick. Let us return to the hall. Of course they would choose this moment to appear. Our enemy standeth before us, bearing light most vile. Strike her down, my champion. I was waiting for you to lift the restraint, as I knew you would. Ejika, please, come to your senses. Come to my senses, my dear Kryl, I never took leave of them. Come, we settle this now, the task that Master Galuf entrusted to us. Adventurer, the blessing of light shields you from the primal's influence. Take the sword and strike down the avatar. Thou wouldst betray me, wicked mortal? Kill him with his own weapon? Wicked, you say? Yours is the existence that threatens the world, Primal. My conscience is quite clear. Before making wise retorts to the Primal, perhaps you would care to explain, well, everything? What is there to explain? I acquired the weapon needed to defeat Eureka's avatar and set up an ambush. Isn't it obvious? I thought that you would be able to deduce my plan of winning the enemy's confidence, but it seems I overestimated you. That's our Ejika. All's well that ends well. Aren't we celebrating a little early? Yes, our Ejika indeed. My apologies. I'll restore the ward at once. No, Kryl, that is not what we need to do. Echo, my echo. I'm against sealing it. If it's possible to slay Eureka, that is what we must do. In the absence of an avatar, its master might command it to forge more weapons than the ether it harbors. This is true. And without the means to replenish its ether, it will eventually consume itself. This will not work, my friend. Surely you see the flaw in this method. What, that Master and Icon are one and the same? That our ether would be Eureka's ether? Aye, we know this, but we've got a responsibility. As those who unearth the being, if my life can set things to rights, gladly would I render it up. Yet therein lies the problem. Eureka harbors tremendous ether, far more than the four of us combined. We would all perish long before we succeed. Well, my friends, it seems we have no choice at all. Let me guess, you had another vision? How very timely, and now you know what I seek to do. Now wait here, what exactly are you planning to do? How many times must you make me state the obvious? Master Galoof conceived of a way to destroy Eureka, and I mean to carry it out. Out of the question, if the four founders together couldn't do this, what makes you think you alone can? Eureka expended vast amounts of ether to bring the Isle of Val out of the life stream. Even accounting for what it has since recovered, my ether alone should more than suffice. You gonna moonbreed it? If that's the case, then I should be the one to do it. It's my solemn responsibility as sole survivor of the destruction. Protected by your blessing as you are, Eureka will not recognize you as its master. Only I can do this. Having read Master Galoof's memo, you should know the danger the Primal poses. We cannot risk it falling into Asian hands again. Destroying it now is the ideal solution. There's nothing ideal about a solution that requires you to sacrifice yourself. Besides, I didn't think a self-centered fellow like you would aspire to martyrdom. Such puerile provocation ill becomes you, Kryl, and no matter what you say, you cannot deny the truth. Sealing Eureka away would only be a temporary measure. Nay, we must destroy it, here and now. Master Galoof believed it possible he himself would have done the deed, and it is possible now. I have already made my peace. Let me do what must be done. I can't just kill it. What you seek to do, there's no undoing. It's suicide, plain and simple, and as your comrade, I cannot allow it. With the Emeraloth vanquished, there's no immediate danger. While Eureka is contained, we can search for other ways to deal with it. Your assertions are all too easily refuted, but 'tis plain you have already made up your mind on the matter. The best thing to do here is defer to a third party. Venturer, without you, we couldn't have gotten this far. You have as much say as any of us on how we should proceed. Very well, I trust her judgment. Whatever be her decision, I will accept it. Here you have it. To defeat Eureka here and now, or to restore the ward and delay the inevitable. Make your choice, adventurer. I want to kill it. The story will unfold differently depending on whose approach you choose to support. Will it really? If you begin upon one path, the other will no longer be available to you. Please note, however, your choice will not affect the rewards and challenges to come. Oh, what if I want to see them both? So it's just kind of a, well, I might want a minute to think about it. I mean, I want to kill it instead of sealing it. So it won't take away the ability to do anything. It just probably plays like a different set of cutscenes based on the one you choose. Okay, so I kind of want to kill the thing. We're going to do BA regardless. So chat's saying there's an extra scene, that the endings are similar if you do BA, which we're going to do BA, but that there's like an extra scene if you choose Kryl's path. And I think the game kind of wants you to pick Kryl's path, given that like the Papalimo thing. Like, it's not very Warrior of Light to send somebody to just sacrifice themselves. Umbrita and Papalimo. But I mean, it's kind of an irritating Lalafell. But yeah, I guess we'll just choose Kryl. It's an extra scene, right? Admittedly, sealing Eureka away does not end it, but we shouldn't rush our decision as Educa seems to believe we must. Once the ward is operational again, we'll have ample time to consider the best course of action. Surely you agree with me. Should you give your support to Kryl's approach, Educa's path will no longer be available to you. Please note, however, that your choice will not affect the rewards and challenges to come. Let's see what Educa says. Master Galoof had intended, we destroy Eureka once and for all. It is the only true solution. You of all people should understand the danger the Primal poses. You know what must be done. I am prepared for the cost. You needn't burden your conscience over it. Should you give your support to Educa's approach, Kryl's path will no longer be available to you. Please note, however, your choice will not affect the rewards and challenges to come. Okay, we'll take Kryl's approach. So, assuming they just say the same thing again. Are you certain you wish to support Kryl's approach? By proceeding, Educa's path will no longer be available to you. Well, if you want to know what happens for Educa's path, we can always read about it later, I'm sure. Thank you, Zilly. I knew we would be on the same page. Educa, that is 2 against 1 in favor of restoring the ward. Lost your nerve, have you? I would try to impress upon you the danger of this course, but I would only be wasting my breath. If it's to be the ward, then so be it. I will cooperate with you. Be thankful. I'm thankful, truly I am. If I were to lend us your keen mind, I'm confident we will find a true solution. Without further ado, then, I will reactivate the ward. It's done. Eureka lies sealed again. I would sooner see it destroyed, as you know, but it's at least a step in the right direction. What next? We have much and more to discuss. Shall we return to camp for the time being? We will go on ahead. See you anon, Zilly. I don't guess there's anything else to do in here, huh? Doesn't look like it. Where will this put us? Guess where we entered, huh? I didn't know there'd be like a cutscene or something, so... The troubles of this isle are our responsibility. Kryle's and mine. We shouldn't depend on an outsider such as you to solve them. Yet I would be lying if I said that we weren't glad for your assistance. For all of your labors on our behalf, I give you my thanks. Allow me to thank you as well. Without you to blaze a trail for us, we couldn't have possibly arrived at a solution. My friends, I am heartened to see you hale and whole. By this, may I assume that business is indeed concluded here? We've read the report. Tell us what happened after. Thus did we succeed in restoring the ward and sealing away Eureka within the tower. Oh my, it appears the expedition proved to be rather more perilous than we first reckoned, but you were evidently the best people for the task. So you took care of your own business. Good for you, but what I really want to know is whether the house stands to gain. No, I was under the impression that you've already gained quite considerably through Gerald's weapons and contrivances. Not to say that our own company isn't interested in profit. Might we discuss the matter of our access to Eureka, begging your pardons, the Isle of Val? This indeed being the Isle of Val, we assert claim over it in the name of the students of Baldesion. Let us negotiate a deal. A deal? We will lease to you a tract of land upon which you may establish a port and carry out your activities. In return, we ask that your two concerns provide support to the scholars we will summon here. Though we have succeeded in sealing away Eureka, much remains to be done. For one, we intend to find a way to destroy the Primal outright. Given the distance from the Charlian motherland, however, it's a challenge to procure provisions. Thus we would turn to you in order to continue our work. You've got yourself a deal. There's still profit to be milked out of this isle, and the more residents, the merrier. We will need to draw up the details of the agreement, of course, but I see no reason why we would reject your proposal. From here on, I shall speak for the students. You and Cry will be leaving the Isle. What are you saying, Ejika? I'm saying that I will tend to the affairs on Val henceforth. Blessed with your powers as you are needed elsewhere. Ejika has matters well in hand, as he says. We have our duties as scions, so let us be on our way. Of course, dealing with the primal threat is part of our stated mission, and we will continue searching for a permanent way to defeat Eureka. Take good care of this place, alright? That goes without saying. Eureka complete. Go talk to the scholar. This is precisely the adventure I wish to see. There's a matter I would discuss with you. In the course of his investigations, Master Ejika has made an unsettling discovery. When the Founders unearthed Eureka, it had by then forged a fearsome arsenal of weapons. Founders made it their mission to locate these arms, which they sealed away in the headquarters' upper level, a place dubbed the Baldesian Arsenal. For years the weapons lay dormant, but the recent disturbances on the Isle may have caused them to awaken, to become sentient. If left unchecked, it is only a matter of time before they take hapless wielders as their vessels, thereby giving rise to new primals. In order to prevent such an outcome, we mean to dispatch a party to destroy the weapons. Now, according to Master Ejika's report, an arcane ward prevents access to the Baldesian Arsenal. However, by exploiting an anomaly in a life stream which occurs under certain weather conditions, it is possible to teleport inside, and here's where you come in. We need you to undertake 4 raids to destroy Eureka's weapons. Having accomplished all that you have on the Isle, we believe you best suited for this mission. Warning, the Baldesian Arsenal is an unimaginably punishing duty. Even the entry conditions alone will not be easily fulfilled, and emerging triumphant will require teamwork, tenacity, time, knowledge, courage, strength, and not the least of all, luck. Have you read and understood the warning? You acknowledge the extreme difficulty of the Baldesian Arsenal. Is it Baldesian or Baldesian? Yes. You now have access to the Baldesian Arsenal. Details such as entry conditions and unique challenges within can be had by speaking with the expedition scholar. It is recommended that you first gain a full understanding of what awaits before venturing forth. How ominous. Ask about the arsenal. Oh, that's a lot to ask about. Yeah, I think we'll just watch a video about